What's going on, YouTube? Blinded by Skate, Unknown Sloth. I know who you are. Anyway, just chilling at my house. Got a little video for you. We're going to call it Tech Update. Tech Update's going to be cards that we see people playing in the near future, or cards that people could be playing currently that may help them in duels or whatnot, or, you know, help them with upcoming formats or yada yada yada. So, enough of the talking. We'll just get right into it. Where's the cards? First card that we picked was Unknown Synchron. Unknown Synchron saw play in Orlando. Juan played it in his deck. A lot of people aren't really playing it for some reason. I just don't understand why. I think it's a pretty good card. It's one of those one-star tuners like Glow Up or Spore where you can only use their effect, once per duel. But the cool thing about it is it has a Cyber Dragon effect built in. If your opponent doesn't, or if your opponent has a monster and you don't have a monster, special summon it, and then you could summon something like Tengu. You could sync for 5-star. This would go to the graveyard. Tengu go to the graveyard. Get 5-star. Special summon another Tengu. It's a good little tuner. It's, 1-star, so you can 1-for-1 it if you need to. It counts as a special summon if you summon it. So, good little choice. Next up, we've got Safe Zone. Safe Zone is a really, really good card in my opinion. It helps to protect monsters that you don't want to get destroyed, like Christia or Fossil Dyna or things like that. If you have a Fossil Dyna and you attack with it or whatever, and your opponent goes and they're trying to kill it, you just summon this, or not summon it, you activate it and equip it to the Fossil Dyna. Fossil Dyna doesn't die, your opponent still can't special summon. Same thing for Christia. So it pretty much saves your monsters from going anywhere if you don't want them to go anywhere. Next up, we've got Debunk. Debunk is kind of like an Effect Veiler in Counter Trap form, except for the fact that it doesn't do monsters on the field. It does monster effects that activate in the graveyard or in the hand. Bonuses, though, is it removes them from play, and it's a Counter Trap card. So it's really good versus anything that activates in the hand or any of that stuff. Gores and all that nonsense. Anything that goes in the graveyard like Glow Up or Spore. Just a really good card. Bonus fact, because it's a Counter Trap card, not many things can stop the Counter Trap cards except for, 7 Tools, Solemn, or, or Dark Bribe or whatever. Things like that. Another choice would be a side deck card for, all the fairies and stuff like that. Ally Salvo. Pretty much, you set it, your opponent attacks into it. If it gets killed by a light monster, you get to pop any 2 cards on the field. So if your opponent's got like a Christia and something on the field and they attack it, it dies, you go pop Christia, pop something else. Which in that, matter, maybe if the person was playing Safe Zone, it wouldn't get popped. But, little tech choice. It works versus Light Torn too, if the opponent attacks into it and they kill it with a light monster. The only downfall really is that it has to be killed by battle for it to really work. So, not too, whatever the word is. You can't use it too many places, but if you use it, you can still use it. It's pretty good. Another choice to use against, Light Sworns and all the fairy stuff is Ally of Justice Quarantine. Pretty much it's like I guess you could put it in stun decks or something like that because it's got a little bit of attack. 4-star, 1700 attacker. Neither player can social summon light monsters. So pretty much have this on the field. Anybody playing with anything that social summons light monsters, they don't get anything. It's like a mini Fossil Dyna for them. And hey, if you want to, you could double it up and go Safe Zone, and then it doesn't get die. I'm sorry, guys. I really like Safe Zone. I think it's a fun card. But yeah, good little card. Decent attack, a 4-star, so you could sync it with other stuff to get 6s and 5s and whatnot. Another choice would be not necessarily for a side deck or anything like that. It's more for just like a deck in general that has like a theme, but it's Gen X Neutron. And the reason Gen X Neutron is you could play it in, anything that played with Gen X controller or whatever like that to help thin the deck. But it really combos very, very, very nicely with Gen X Ally Birdman. Summon Neutron, grab a Birdman, bounce the Neutron back to your hand. Say you already had a monster on the field, obviously, so you can, sync with this. But even if not, summon this, grab this. A, you're thinning the deck, and B, you've got a Birdman in hand, so next turn you can, hopefully he'll be on the field still, or if not, next turn you can special summon this by getting some from the graveyard or whatnot. So good little combos with there. And the last tech choice would be one that somebody would probably run in Lightsworn or in fairies themselves, and it's a really cool thing that my friend Matt brought to me earlier today, and it is Genex Ally Triforce. And the thing about this card is it's a 7-star, it's synchro, obviously, and it needs to be sunk with 1 Genex tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So you can sync it with these two, which is a perfect example. 3 and 4, obviously, and his attribute is a light. The non-tuner's monster, whatever its attribute is, this card gets an effect with light. Whenever it gets summoned, you get to grab once per turn, actually, you get to grab a light monster from your graveyard and special summon it in face down defense position. So if you're playing, say whatever it is, Hyperion deck, whatever, and you have Jupiter on the field and something else, special summon this by bringing back Earth, have Jupiter on the field still, sync these two, make 7, grab this, take any of your agents or whatever, put them face down, grab Honest even with its 19 defense and put it face down. You could put it in Lightsworn if you play this in Lightsworn. You could sync this with like a Garoth or a Jane. You could special summon Raikou in face down defense position, and then your opponent's going to be hesitant to attack the face down because they're like, oh, he's got Raikou, he can just kill whatever I do if I attack it. So another good little tech choice that my friend Matt brought to me and thought it was pretty cool. But that's all the cards we got for you today, and I hope you like them. Leave your comments, tell us what you like about whatever the cards are. Tell us tech choices you've got for your own, any cards that you like, any cards that people not have heard of. But until then, this is Team Lockdown, and we're out.